Well, hello there, everybody. And guys, my name is Andrew Hexley, and I'm going to be doing this movie review, for the movie Taken because I haven't done a movie review for a while. So I thought, why not maybe Taken, because it worked out really perfectly, and so I decided to do it. So here it is, you guys. But anyways. I wanted to see this movie because I thought at first it was really interesting. I saw the movie trailer for it, and I thought it was a really good movie. But I thought it was a really perfect action movie, and it's really awesome because it stars Liam Neeson as the main character. Um, and the story's about Liam Neeson. And he's a retired CIA agent and special trained, kind of like an agent and a spy or something at the same time. But you get that kind of feeling when you watch like movies like Born Ultimatum, and you watch Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol. That there's actually different spies in each movie. And so far, the main characters try to do very good things, like, for each other, and then they try to, like, do something about it. But then the situation starts to get out of hand, and we all know what happens later in the end. But anyways, so this movie is about, Bryan Mills. Now, he's a retired CIA agent who just wants some peace and quiet, and he can't rest or sleep because there's some bad guys on his tail, hot on his heels, who might get him next. And you might never know what happens, but in the movie, so his daughter is trying to go to Paris. She's trying to find out, like, where, she's supposed to go on these airlines, like, to, like, have, or, like, grab a ticket to the airplane to go to Paris with her best friend, like, who's a girl. And the father's daughter, does not listen to his, like, really, clear instructions about never to go away from her best friend because she tries to protect her from bad guys and stuff like that. And she just goes and gets kidnapped, and Liam Neeson finds out that his daughter was kidnapped while she was grabbing a ticket on an airplane trip to Paris. So, excuse me, please. I cough a lot during these movie reviews, but not all the time, you guys. Just some. But anyways, so yeah, they actually try to go to an airplane to get a trip to like Paris, and all of a sudden, his daughter is kidnapped by like a group of bad guys, like a group of bandits who stole her. And then Liam Neeson goes out to kill, and get revenge on the people who kidnapped his daughter. Now, Liam Neeson is no better, or he's no better in this movie, as he's an angry father who's out for revenge and vengeance and justice. More importantly, he's cleaning up the streets and trying to see if his daughter will make it out alive or not. But apparently, someone else is trying to kill him, and he just doesn't recognize. He does not know it. You might recognize Liam Neeson from Unknown and other movies. He was great in those other movies. And the other movie I can't remember, but I hated. I can't remember, but everyone hated Taken 2. I mean, I hated too. A lot of movie reviews and critics and haters said that this movie was so dumb and so silly, and it was so cheesy looking. Bryan Mills didn't even do anything. He didn't even kill anyone. And in the sequel, the remake to the first one, I thought the original one was hardcore, and it was way more better. This movie was, of course, the Taken 2 movie wasn't really that better, but I mean, I hated that Taken 2 actually had to be. I hated that Taken 2 actually had to be remade into a movie where there's a position that goes on between the two main characters, and then all of a sudden a sequel gets made. I mean, I don't get it. Like, some sequels are released earlier or later, but I kind of found out that Taken 2 is actually a really horrible movie. It's an awful movie, but it's a really horrible and awful movie, but it's a really horrible and awful movie by what I'm rating or something like that about it. But I hated that movie. I thought for a minute that I could just stand there and watch the movie trailer for it. No, 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 no. Taken 2, on the other hand, was complete garbage. It was actually a movie made to be another movie and had the same story, the same back point of the story from the first movie, and it wasn't hardcore. Can you believe it? Not even hardcore. And the main thing is about the script. It's dumb, it's silly, and It's irresponsible. I couldn't even stand watching the movie trailer for this movie. It was absolutely disappointing. Taken 2 is at least really disappointing movie, and no wonder an action movie like this gets to not like, nobody likes it at all. I hate it too, and I'd rather say that this movie is garbage than being a really good movie, because there are people out there who think that Taken 2 could have at least improved, like, better at the box office. It didn't. Sadly, that's not the point here. The point is, Taken 2 is a sequel, a follow-up to the first Taken movie, which I hate. It's a dumb movie, it's irresponsible, like I said before, it's silly, and all the action fight scenes in the movie are actually nothing but nonetheless really bad. I wish they had a bad guy. And when I do these movie reviews, I talk a little bit about the bad guys and a little bit about the bad guys and the main villains in almost every movie. So here we go. I really love the villain in the first movie. I think the main villain in this first Taken movie, is actually a really hardcore guy. He just looks scary and stuff because he had a beard and he's like really scary looking, and he's like on this, he's like on the ship and everything, and all his henchmen are on it as well, and Liam Neeson has to fight them, and it's like hardcore because he goes into hand-in-hand or hand-in-hand combat with him, and he just kills him right away. I mean, Liam Neeson, he's going to kick butt in this movie because he's definitely like a killer. He's like Sherlock Holmes. You see Sherlock Holmes investigating a murder, and you see the same with Liam Neeson as Bryan Mills. Now, Bryan Mills is, of course, if he's either considered a hero or a villain, it doesn't matter. Bryan Mills is still a hardcore guy, and he will be, because Liam Neeson does an excellent, he nails an excellent, he nails an excellent role as Bryan Mills in this movie. Now, for a point, I thought that when I was stopped to think about the movie for a while, I thought that the movie may have had a little bit of over-the-top scenes that I really did enjoy, like this one part where he's kicking a guy, this one part where he's kicking a guy in the face with his feet, and he just choke slams him and kind of throws him on a car. He grabs him by his jacket, then he hits him he kind of he kind of pulls him over, then he hits him, when, they're the taxi scene, he, grabs his jacket, and then he throws him on this car, and it hits him in the face, and he's just knocked out unconscious. I thought for a minute the guy wouldn't survive, and the man probably died from that. He did, because it's a choke slam. You choke slam someone, they're dead already, before you know it. And even though Liam Neeson is a hardcore actor, his movies are fascinating to look at, because from a different perspective, I thought Liam Neeson was a really better character, and he nailed the role perfectly. I mean, he's a good character, he's a good main character for this movie, and a really good role model, because, of course, this movie is really violent, and there are some fight scenes, and people might complain about the violence a little bit, but I didn't mind, This movie was actually fascinating to watch. And the main elements, the plot, the backstory, and everything else in this movie actually settled it for very well. It's very well done, and I can say only one thing. Liam Neeson really does an excellent job nailing the performance, and his acting is really good. Because I like the movies where Liam Neeson gets to kick butt in almost every scene. And this movie does so well that people will really enjoy seeing him on the big screen. And I'm sure a lot of people might be Liam Neeson lovers out there, but I'm also one of them, because Liam Neeson is excellent. He trained Batman, Bruce Wayne, in Batman Begins. He also appeared in The Dark Knight Rises, and he also appeared in Star Wars. And I think he is an excellent trainer. He's an excellent Batman trainer, because in Batman he's both a trainer for Obi-Wan Kenobi and for Luke Skywalker, and also for Bruce Wayne to become Batman and strike fear into the hearts of criminals. And I thought that Liam Neeson nailed the role in those two. He nailed the role in those two movies perfectly. I mean, he did a really good job. Don't get me wrong. I mean, what people say about Liam Neeson, it's like they're lying about him. And a lot of people think, excellent job. I mean, you're a good one, Mr. Liam Neeson. I think you should be in another movie like this. But prior to that, don't be in Taken 2, because it's so silly of you to ever be in Taken because you're jumping everywhere, and you're kind of like thinking to yourself, and I'm sorry to say that, but I mean, you're kind of like this, you don't realize how, like, far you're jumping from the building. So, how many people actually can actually jump a building like that? I mean, I'd say several, but none of them would ever make it. They probably die really fast or something. But, I mean, the backstory of this movie was actually very interesting in order for me to get to know it, to get to watch it. And I thought this movie actually, from a regular action movie, did a great job. It didn't disappoint. There are a few scenes that I really enjoyed. The main action scenes are supposed to be really funny, but they're not funny. They're supposed to be really hardcore, and they sure do nail the perfect. They sure do nail the role very well, perfectly. I thought for a moment this movie was gonna disappoint me on a later scale, but it didn't, you guys. I love this movie, and I love all action movies, including Batman: The Dark Knight Rises and The Amazing Spider-Man. I thought all action movies, all superhero movies like this were great. And I thought that all the movies that we have seen so far that were released, I thought, and some movies that were released that I thought they were really nice or really great so far that were released. But I mean, these movies, they're actually really cool. And all Batman lovers will like Liam Neeson. No matter if he trains Batman or not, he's an excellent actor. And providing a composition, he's actually a really smart and talented actor. And what he's doing, like, he's doing these lines and quotes from this movie. And he's just doing these lines and quotes from this movie. And I think this movie actually did a really nice job at this. And I love Liam Neeson because he's able to provide a really certain different aspect to this movie. And the environment of this movie is actually really cool. I like how Paris looks in this movie. You can get a more realistic feeling out of it. But I thought Liam Neeson did a really nice job as Bryan Mills because he's actually a very good and talented actor. And all people will really enjoy him. They'll really recognize his face once they see him. I think a lot of people actually didn't complain that they hated this movie. I thought for a later scale they enjoyed it, and they certainly did. Just look at how many reviews out there are buzzing like they're buzzing around and critics are saying this is the most greatest movie ever made. I mean, I surely agree with them. All movies don't have to be the same thing. They don't have to be different. They don't have to have nothing bad in them, especially when it comes to Taken 2. But I really love the first Taken movie. And I'm going to say this movie didn't disappoint on a later scale. If you're a fan of action movies, like if you're a fan of action movies, no matter if you like action movies or not, you're gonna definitely enjoy this movie. And yeah, I'll give it a 10 out of 10 because I liked it, and yeah. I really liked it because Liam Neeson did a great job nailing the role as Bryan Mills. And in almost every movie, Bryan Mills is even better than James Bond. Of course, he's a really violent person, but he has to be like that. And I like James Bond because the James Bond, like, the same with James Bond, they do a great job. And I mean, like, when they're spies and secret agents and stuff, they can do almost anything. Take down a bad guy, chokeslam him, and, kill him really quickly, like, with a gun. Because all that matters is getting revenge, because his daughter was kidnapped. And I'm not going to tell you the spoilers, because if you don't want to be spoiled, then please stop this review and don't watch it anymore. I'm going to tell you some really spoilers, so spoiler alert, please do not listen to this. So in the end of the movie, when Liam Neeson, Bryan Mills, gets on top of this ship that's in the water, that's kind of, driving in the water, you can see that on the ship, Liam Neeson takes down some more bad guys, some more henchmen, and luckily, he takes down this the main boss, the main villain of the movie. He takes him down. He has a hand-to-hand combat, but the guy's strong. He almost kills him. And you recognize that Liam Neeson is so intelligent, so awesome in this movie, that he just gets to chokeslam this guy to death, and half with his hands, his bare hands, he's fighting, for his life not to be taken away from him. So what he does is he actually slams a bottle on the guy's head, then he actually, kicks him in, his foot, and he kind of injures him. And the guy's screaming. He's like in pain, you know. It's like painfully done, like in execution style. And what he does is actually really painful. But, still, he actually does a very nice job at this. Even though he's really like Aspire or something like that, he still does a very nice job at doing this, So, yeah. And I really like this because this movie actually did. Because this movie didn't actually disappoint me on a later scale. I thought all the moments and scenes were pretty funny, but they're not supposed to be funny because this movie is supposed to be an adult movie with no humor, but really violent theme, because Liam Neeson actually does a really good job at playing this guy and running around and just kicking, tripping, punching, and even killing these guys. He breaks their hands. He's a strong guy. He's like, he's ready to take down anything. And once he does it, he's just really awesome at this movie. And I believe that Liam Neeson is actually a very good actor, and I'm gonna give him credit. He did such a great job playing. He did such a great job playing. He did such a great job playing Bryan Mills in this movie. He did such a great job playing. He did such a great job playing. Bryan Mills in this movie, and I think he deserves the most credit because he's an excellent actor out there. I think he's an excellent actor because of the way he's able to talk, because of the way he's able to communicate and stuff like that. And I think there are a lot of points in this movie that I really did enjoy. And the really good things I loved about this movie once I saw was that the fact that this movie carried out a story unlike any James Bond or Mission Impossible movie. I thought for a while that maybe I was getting into the action. An action movie would rather have this. But a scenario like this is most likely able to be a really great movie. And no matter how many times you've seen this movie, you're gonna get into the story very fast. And I can tell you, almost anybody's gonna love Liam Neeson just for his role. He is an awesome actor. I loved how the characters engaged with each other. There was like a little romance or there was like a little romance between them. But this movie wasn't about that. It was about how not about how James Bond beats like his enemies like that, but about how Bryan Mills actually, kicks butt in this movie. He's actually a very dangerous guy. You can't mess with him, or you can't actually mess with him because he's a dangerous guy, or you'll have your neck or fingers broken. Because this guy is hardcore, and in almost every movie he's been so hardcore to the point where people really, despite his movies, really enjoyed him for that reason. And the main reason why I love Liam Neeson, why I loved him, is because he's able to set up a very good standard about how you're supposed to take down your enemies when you're in trouble, or how you're able to charge at your enemies and kill them right away. I mean, he did a good job at that, and he did a really good job at that, and he did a really good job at that because I like Liam Neeson, and don't get me wrong, he's an excellent actor, so I'll give this movie a 10 out of 10 because it was really awesome. But I did not like Taken 2, because Taken 2 was usually about this other guy, and had the same story, but with my favorite actor, Liam Neeson. They could have done him a little better, or he could have not done those things. Don't get me wrong, he's an excellent spy, but he could have done a way better job at Taken 2, but, overall, I think the first Taken movie was especially excellent towards the ending, and when he shoots that other guy who's holding his daughter hostage with a gun, killing him. I thought this movie was actually a very good movie, that it did so well at the box office, that it earned a lot of money, and the cinematography was unlike any other exception, because I had exceptions and I had high hopes to go see this movie, and I sure did like high hopes and high exceptions to see this movie, and I went to see and I had higher exceptions and high hopes and high exceptions to go see this movie, and I really did enjoy it because it was an awesome movie, and plus it was excellent in my case. So I'm gonna give Taken a 10 out of 10 because it's an awesome movie. You're gonna love it, even if you haven't seen the first Taken movie. I recommend you go see it at your. I recommend you go see it. It's an awesome movie, and I will see all of you guys later. Take care, everybody. Don't forget to tell me what you think in the comments below if you want to see it next, or if you want to see the next movie review. And I will see all of you later. Bye bye, everybody.